Hi, this is Jacqueline at Bilingual FM on March 7th, 2011. We just finished a group talk today with the topic of fashion. So, in speaking about fashion, we looked at a few new vocabulary words, 6 actually. The first one is a verb, which is to prepare, and to prepare means to get ready. So to prepare for a test means you study and you read a lot and you spend lots of time working on this. So this is to prepare, you get ready. To be prepared is to be ready. So I am prepared for my test. I studied and I read a lot and I spent lots of time doing this. So I am prepared. So in a few example sentences, number 1, I need to prepare for my TOEIC exam. I will study a lot. Number 2, did you prepare for your meeting with your new client? So did you get ready? Did you study? 3, I am prepared to take my exam now. So I am prepared. I studied a lot. And 4, I am not prepared for my test. So I'm not ready. Okay, so that's all for to prepare or to be prepared. The next word is brief. So brief is an adjective. So to be brief. Brief means something short or something quick. So in an example sentence, I will give you a brief explanation of our company and services. So just a short explanation, not many details, just a short explanation. Or another example, my meeting was very brief, so very short, very quick. The next verb that we looked at was the verb to admire. So sometimes we think of admire to be referring to love, like adore or admire. It means to like a person very much. But sometimes we can use admire meaning just to respect someone. So I admire you for being so successful, so I respect you. Or I admire him because he is very intelligent, so I respect him. The next thing we looked at was the use of the word over. So in this phrase, over a period of time, so over 1 year, means you have a period and something happens throughout that time. So in an example, I will go to 14 English lessons over 100 days at Bilingual FM. Or I went to 8 sessions over 1 year. So in 1 year, I went 8 times, and you say over a year. The next adjective is accessible. So the verb is to access, and if a place or an event is accessible, it means everyone can very easily go there or get there. So it's accessible. So when we were talking about fashion, we were talking about how high fashion was not accessible to everyone. So not everyone can afford high fashion or can reach high fashion. So we're thinking about Paris and Milan and New York, and so not everyone can go there and buy these clothes. So it was not accessible. But in another sentence, now fashion is accessible to everyone. So everyone can access it. It's accessible to everyone now that we have internet shopping, or now that we have cheaper brand names. So the internet makes the world accessible. So I can access information about everything on the internet. So it makes things accessible. And the last adjective we looked at was limited. So limited is something with limits, so like a maximum. It can also mean like a small amount, sort of. So in an example sentence, before we had the internet, people had limited access to fashion. So not really good access, but it was just like small access or limited access. So it had limits. Not everyone could access everything, so it was limited. Or in another sentence, I have limited knowledge of, for example, philosophy. So I'm describing my knowledge as limited, so maybe it's just a small amount. There's a maximum amount of knowledge that I have, and it's not very much. So those are the words we looked at. The first was the verb to prepare, to get ready, or to be prepared, to be ready. Then the adjective brief, meaning short or quick. The verb to admire, like to respect or to like a person very much. And then we looked at over for over a period of time, so over 1 year, over 8 months. Then we looked at the adjective accessible, so to be accessible means we have easy access. And the adjective limited, so something with limits. Okay, so I hope that was useful for you in today's group talk about fashion, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.